Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today I am filming my April wrap-up. I haven't seen a wrap-up of mine since January. I haven't done my February or my March wrap-up, and I don't know what happened. It just got away from me, and I'm really sorry about that. But I'm starting it back up again. I'm doing my wrap-ups. This month, the good news is I'm still technically ahead on my Goodreads count. However, I only read 3 books in April, and I actually only read them all in the very last week of April. Towards the end of March, I hit the worst reading slump in the history of my reading slumps. And nothing was like sticking with me as I was trying to read, and it took me a really long time to read a couple of these or one of these books because I read it pretty much the entire month. And I also was in California in the beginning of the month, and that like totally messed me up for a week. I didn't pretty much read it all. So let's get started on my April wrap-up. First book I completed in the month of April was Forbidden by Kimberly Griffiths Little. I got this book in the Barnes & Noble in California. This was the book that I decided to read at the airport because that was a whole mess of me trying to get home. So I had a lot of time to read. I really loved it. Yes, I rated it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I haven't come up with a full review yet, but I do plan on doing a full review on Goodreads as well as a video review. This is a historical romance taking place in 1700 BC in Mesopotamia. I loved it because I love that setting. I love ancient civilizations in, Egypt, in the Middle East, the Greeks, the Romans. I am there. I haven't actually come across a historical romance like this in a YA setting. I started it on the 12th and I didn't finish it until like the last week. It wasn't because I wasn't liking it, because I did. It just took me a long time to read it, and some days I went without reading at all. I do recommend this book. It was really unique, and I'm glad I ended up reading it. Then, because I was still in a reading slump, I picked up a new adult, because when I'm in a reading slump, I read new adult to get out of it. So I read the second book in the Clipped Wings duology by Helena Hunting. I read the first book in March. I read the first book in March, and I really loved it. It totally got me out of my reading slump. I rated this one a 3.5, 4 out of 5. Even though I love the first one, I rated the first one a 4 out of 5 as well. The second book was kind of more predictable to me. It wrapped up everything, which I liked. There were no loose ends in my opinion, but I mean, it was exactly what I was expecting. Nothing really happened that really shocked me. However, I still liked it, and I'm really glad I read this series because it's one of my favorite new adult series I've read. Apparently, fun fact, this was Twilight fanfiction. However, don't let that think that it's anything like Twilight, because I don't even know how it could have been Twilight fanfiction, because it is nothing like any of the characters. Tenley and Hayden, who are the 2 main characters, are nothing like Edward and Bella. They are far superior than those characters. And the last book I read of the month was an inhale read for me, and that was End of Days by Susan E. This is the final book in the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy. I read the first book pre-booktube, so this has come full circle for me because I read the second book while I had my channel, and here I have the third book and I feel complete. I don't want to say a lot about this because it hasn't been released. It's released May 12th. And I just don't want people to be swayed by my opinion of what I felt about this book, so I'm not really gonna go into it. However, I did rate it a 5 out of 5. This is one of my favorite underrated trilogies. I think a lot of people are more aware of it now, which is great, and it's just so dark. It's so dark for a young adult, and it's just so gritty, and it just, it's so good. I really like it because it's dark for a young adult. So yes, it is an angel book, but like, don't let that, it's nothing like the other angel books you've ever read before, I guarantee it. This is a step above the rest, for sure, this series is. So that's it for my April wrap-up. What was your favorite book you read this month? Mine was definitely End of Days by Susan E. I hope you guys all have a really great day, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!